Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shri Swami Narayanaya Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Narayanaya Namaha. Shri Narnarayanaya Namaha. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 28th of October 2024. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, residing in the heart of each being. We are continuing to examine Sri Vivek Chudamani, and the last several days I'm just going through some of the basic terminology to make sure things are very clear in our minds before we progress further on the exposition that we have already started on verse 77 and the connection with the Gita verse, the connection with Nishkuranand Swami, etc. So there is the understanding of Maya, and as far as Advaita Vedantic concepts are concerned, there is the Vikshep Shakti, Avran Shakti that we talked about before. So I'm going to continue on this further today with regards to the three levels of reality that are talked about. And that is called Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam. There's three of these. And it's very interesting. Paramarthika Satyam is described this way in Advaita Vedanta, because we need to understand Advaita Vedanta as clearly as possible before the other forms of Vedanta can actually be looked at in a comparative sense. So Paramarthika Satyam is the absolute reality. At the highest level, Paramarthika Satyam, which represents Brahman, the ultimate and absolute reality, that is Satchidananda, pure consciousness, that is Sat. Satchidananda is pure existence, pure consciousness, pure bliss. Brahman without attributes, meaning the Nirakar, formless Brahman, without any physical attributes of any kind. This is the foundational reality that underlies all of existence, yet it transcends time, space, and causality. Brahman is the non-dual essence of all things, and it is eternal and unchanging. From the point of Paramarthika Satyam, the world of multiplicity, individuality, and change is an illusion. This highest level of reality is only accessible through the direct realization of the self as non-dual from Brahman, which is the highest goal of Advaita Vedanta. Right? So this is called Paramarthika Satyam. So we want to make sure, at least conceptually, this makes sense to us. First of all, as far as our experiences in life are concerned, we are experiencing everything except this Paramarthika Satyam. This Paramarthika Satyam is non-dual consciousness. So it's non-dual essence of all things. What do we experience? We experience duality. We experience multiplicity. We experience individuality. And we experience constant change. So let's take a look at this. These three words here. You can see that I've underlined it here for you. Right? So multiplicity, individuality, and continuous change. This is our experience. So where is the issue of Brahman? How do you know there's any Brahman or any such thing? Is it just some fantasy? No, it is not a fantasy. It is the reality of who we actually are. This is what Vedanta teaches us. But to discover that, we can try to understand this word Satchidananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Pure existence. So, pure existence is something that we can access, that is accessible by the fact that there is existence. So let's stay with this point for now. Then we'll get back to the others in just a moment. We have existence. We exist. This body exists. The world outside has existence. But Vedanta says that it is asatya. Brahman is satya. They said that what we feel is existing, what is known through the purview of our senses, it is not the Paramarthika Satyam. Paramarthika meaning the ultimate existence. It is only a relative, some reflection, some type of a temporary realization, temporary state of being, or temporary experience only. It doesn't have any actual reality. That's what Vedanta says. Actually what is real is the Atman. And the oneness with the Atman and the Brahman, as soon as that is realized, you are enlightened. There is enlightenment. The world still exists. It is the veiling power, the Vikshep Shakti, the Avarana Shakti of Maya. That's what's creating the names and forms. Why are the names and forms, Naam, Roop, Akar, why are they there even? And how are they there? So Vedantic masters have taught that this is called Avarana Shakti. Avarana means it's a covering, and the Vikshepa, these are the disturbances that are constantly within the individual. So that is interesting in the sense that the Vikshep Shakti is the cause of all phenomenal experiences. It is the reason why individuals experience the world of duality, such as the opposites, pleasure and pain, success and failure, joy and sorrow. And the world of duality, the world of opposites, is due to the Vikshep Shakti. It is a projecting power that keeps the individual entangled in the illusion of separateness. Right? So, the Avarana Shakti is more in terms of the Agnan. It is the ignorance of one's true nature, that I'm not aware of what I am, because that lack of awareness is called avidya. And that causes misperceptions, attachments, desires, etc. Lack of realization that I am the Brahman that lack of realization is avarana. And that is also a type of Shakti. You see, so we have several points to keep in mind here. Avarana Shakti, Vikshep Shakti, Paramarthika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam, and Vyavarika Satyam. These are the basic terminology. We should understand this as before we progress further in Vivek Chudamani. Then the remainder of the Vivek Chudamani is just going to blossom extraordinarily if these points are really clear. At least intellectually they should be clear. And then as we're doing our sadhana, bhajan, bhakti, we're doing other, manan chintan, jo hum kar rahe, wo continue karna, right? So the normal devotional practices, continue asking Paramatma for Jnana, Paramatma for bhakti, asking Paramatma for realization. That is a dualistic devotional bhavana, and I've mentioned that before many times. But right now, since we're covering Vivek Chudamani and the related scriptures, these are key aspects. That the avarana is a veiling power. वो माया की शक्ति है. Now, as I mentioned before, somebody might ask, well, why is this there? Why Brahman is veiling itself this way? Why is it projecting this way? Is Brahman actually coming into Agnan? So, it may seem like that, that the Brahman has come into Agnan, but even Advaita Vedanta will say no. And all the other forms of Vedanta, Vishishtadvaita, all the other forms of interpretations, Vachanamrut maybe sub, Akshara Brahman and Parabrahman never come into Maya. But Maya hai kya? Maya is a power. In Shikshapatri, Shriji Maharaj said, the definition in Shikshapatri is aham ane mamatva karnari Bhagwan Krishna ni shakti se. भगवान कृष्ण की एक शक्ति ऐसी है कि वो जो अहम और ममत्व हमारे जीवन में वो कराती है शक्ति. ये मेरा है, मेरा है, मेरा है, this is mine, these people are mine, this thing. It's a mamatva, the emotional entanglements. This is called mamatva. That is a more practical definition in the Shikshapatri. But it still comes from the same, this notion of avarana is more difficult to realize unless one is trying to awaken the Brahma Vidya from inside. For example, I'm sitting here right now. Let's make this very practical. I'm sitting in front of you. I'm sitting in this computer, my room here, in Mandir ke room hai. I'm sitting in front of you. But is this world real? Well, Vyavarika Satyam, transactional, they say it is relatively real. Yes, it is. Ramanujacharya will say yes, it is real. It is not an illusion or a projection. It's real. It's not an illusion or projection. Shankaracharya ji says, no, it's adhyas. Adhyas bhasya. There's a whole scripture called Adhyasa Bhasyam. So, who is right, who is wrong? Both are right. They're not, it's not that Shankaracharya ji is wrong. Shankaracharya ji is never wrong. वो भगवान शिव है. And Ramanujacharya is never wrong. वो भगवान विष्णु का अंश है. Both are correct. But they're speaking from their own viewpoint and realization. Nobody's wrong. They have their own darshan. This is the meaning of the word darshan. And that's, see, the purpose of all these acharyas is to awaken the darshan that they're having within us. Darshan means vision. The Shat darshan are there. 6 major philosophical systems. Again, that's not the best translation. Darshan doesn't mean philosophical system. Darshan means vision of the rishi, of the reality, the Satyam, the way that they have realized what they have discovered in their realization. They have described that in Sanskrit language, in the scriptures. And then they become Darshan Shastra. We also use the same expression when we go to mandir. हम ऐसे नहीं बोलते कि हम कृष्ण और राधा जी के देखने, we're going to see them. What's the expression we used? दर्शन करने के लिए जाते हैं. मंदिर में दर्शन होता है. मंदिर में it's not like you're seeing some statue or some idol or some figure. It's not like that. Darshan means what? We are there to see the tattvic reality of Parabrahma. That is called darshan. As soon as we enter into mandir, in fact, I just went recently to the Mahalakshmi mandir, just a couple of days back here. What is the tattvic vision? So that is why we have Hindu mandirs or Sanatan Dharma mandir. Church is same thing. Doesn't matter which place of worship, but the same concept is there. When we are entering into the mandir, we have to remove the Avran Shakti, the Vikshep Shakti, and moves directly into Paramarthika Satyam. वहाँ किसी मनुष्य को नहीं देखना. See, when we enter into the temple, see each person there, the pujaris, the devotees coming, सब दिव्य है. भगवान के भक्त है, भगवान के मुक्त है. माया का आवरण छोड़ दो. See, even this is a sadhana. Try to do this. Kabhi take out 1 or 2 hours out of the schedule and go to your nearest temple, whichever one you want to go to, or practice this sadhana, which I'm showing you right now. That is to park your car, and then if you have put tilak on your forehead, it's fine. If not, you can put it inside the temple. They have kumkum and vibhuti, and most temples have it. So before you enter the temple, take the shoes off. You know what that means? The shoes are 2 pairs. Aham or mamatva chhod dena bahar. Take the shoes off. This is another meaning behind taking the shoes off. Then, before you enter, there's always steps. Maybe 6 steps to 8 steps. Some number of steps are there. Sometimes big temples have a lot of steps. The very first step, touch the step, and maybe there's some dust on there, maybe not. Just touch the step and then put the dust on the forehead. That the dust of the feet of the bhaktas is on my forehead. This is how to enter into a mandir. Mandir mein pravesh kaise karna? With this bhavana. It's not that one is just going, all right, I'm going to be giving a big donation today and my name will be on the plaque. Ye sab chodo, ye sab bakwas baat hai. It has nothing to do with spirit. If you have that vision, they'll be drowning in Maya, in the temple itself. It has this total wrong kind of, those plates and everything, they should be taken out and thrown out completely. Nobody's name should be there at all. Because that fosters ego and agnan and division and some $25,000 donation and 10,000 plate. And ये कभी भी नहीं होना चाहिए मंदिरों में. This is Sachin's opinion. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to criticize anybody. They need to raise funds and all that. We understand that. अध्यात्म का नाश हो जाता है इस सब वस्तु में. अध्यात्म कुछ अलग बात है. It's not about these things. देना है तो और दान भी गुप्त होना चाहिए. You don't tell anybody. Put your name on the plaque somewhere. कितना foolishness है ये सब. You say, but that is not any kind of spirituality, to do that. You see, so that should never be done. To put your name somewhere that I've donated this much money, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm this. May or मेरा ये सब totally इसका उसका नाश होना चाहिए. That is called मंदिर. But ठीक है, जो भी चलता है. It's all part of that is part of Maya. All that stuff, those plaques. That's a Mahamaya right there. And so it's trouble. You see, this is what Shankaracharya ji is saying. Bhaja Govindam, worship Paramatma, ye sab aham mamatva, in this ego-driven activity, throw this thing out. It has no place in spirituality, none. Do you know the Upanishadic rishis did not write their names at the end of the scriptures that they wrote. Right now we write one thing, we put our names in big letter, and okay, we need that in the Vaivarika level. When the Upanishads were written, commentaries were written from the Vedic times, they were so advanced in their spiritual realization, unhone unka naam bhi nahi likha. We don't even know who wrote most of the scriptures. Some names are there. Kitni alag baat hai. You see, so aham or mamatva chhodna chahiye. Then you go into the mandir. और मंदिर में जब मूर्ति की प्रतिष्ठा होती है, there's a पूजन अर्चन, there's भजन कीर्तन दर्शन. It is a तात्विक दर्शन that we are entering into the धाम. भगवान के धाम में हम जाते हैं, not into some local mandir or something like that, not into some place of Maya. We're coming out of Maya. That bhavna. And if we go into the mandir that way and do our seva, do donation, do pujan, archan, with that feeling and bhavna, enlightenment is not far away. Enlightenment is not far away at all. It has to do with removing this avarana that is inside our mind, that we are doing darshan. We're going for darshan. We say, I'm doing darshan of God. हम दर्शन के लिए जाते, as if God has nothing better to do to see, have you come over there. It's not like that at all. दर्शन जो होता है वो परमात्मा की कृपा से दर्शन होता है, बाकी होता नहीं दर्शन. With the problem is our human ego is sky high. If I wasn't there, this mandir would not have been built. If I wasn't there, this would not be. If I'm not there, this would not be done. If you're not there, everything is going to be done. You don't worry. Nobody's indispensable. This is a fact. Sorry, I'm not trying to criticize anybody or anything, but this is a satya baat hai. Or if you want to reach Paramarthika Satyam, Agnan has to be thrown out. Not even the slightest. What Shriji Maharaj said in Vachanamrut? He said, Ranch jetli pan kasar reva devi nathi. Amara bhakto ma ranch jetli kasar. Not even the slightest deficiency we want to maintain inside. You see, actually he said tal matra kasar. Tal meaning that seed, that sesame seed. How small is that? He said tal matra pan kasar reva devi nati. Old Gujarati language. Kasar meaning deficiency. We don't want to leave even the slightest deficiency in the mumukshu, in the bhakta. 100% pure. 100% divya. Not 99.999999999. Not that. 100%. And that is, and see, once that opens up, Paramarthika Satyam opens. So let's stop here for now. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murtihi Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mokshamulam Gurur Krupa Om Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tameva Vidya Drabinam Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Hrim Svaha Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.